Listen, something very mysterious is happening in this moment, though almost no one has noticed it. Those who have begun to awaken, those who have seen through the dream of the world, are quietly vanishing, not with any drama, not with slogans or declarations. They are simply stepping back into the ages, into silence. I have watched this phenomenon my entire life. People come here, they sit with me, and slowly, something shifts inside them. They begin to see what they could not see before. And then one day they tell me, I cannot go back to my old life. My friends seem like strangers. My work feels meaningless. The conversations that once engaged me now feel hollow. And they ask with genuine concern, what is wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you, my friend. You are not antisocial. You are not depressed. You are simply awakening. An awakening always begins with a gentle withdrawal. Think of it this way. When you wake up from a long sleep, you do not immediately jump back into dreaming. You open your eyes, you blink, you see the light. It takes time for the eyes to adjust. In that time, you cannot play the old games anymore. The dream has lost its grip on you. This is what happens to the soul that begins to see. It discovers that the world is sleepwalking. People moving, talking, striving, yet deeply unconscious of what they are doing or why. And when you too were asleep, it all seemed normal. You could talk for hours about nothing. You could chase after shadows and call them achievements. You could care deeply about opinions that were never your own. But once the veil drops, everything changes. Suddenly you feel like a man who has walked out of a dark cinema into bright daylight. You can no longer believe in the flickering movie. You see that it was only light and shadow, never real. I am not condemning the world. I am simply stating a fact. The marketplace demands efficiency, not awareness. Society runs on an agreement to pretend. To pretend that the masks we wear are our real faces. To pretend that the opinions we repeat are our own. To pretend that this constant rushing is leading somewhere meaningful. This collective pretending keeps the world in motion, and when one person wakes up and steps out of the script, the others feel threatened. Why? Because the awakened one no longer fits the rhythm. He forgets his lines. He looks directly at the audience, and suddenly the whole illusion trembles. He sees what others cannot see. He sees the fear behind confidence. He sees the emptiness behind busyness. He sees the anger that hides unacknowledged pain. He sees that the world's battles are only shadows fighting shadows. He watches humanity pointing fingers at one another, blaming, dividing, and he sees that all of it is an attempt to avoid one's own darkness. Once you have seen this, you cannot unsee it. You cannot go back to being serious about the dream. You cannot fight or defend illusions. The whole game of judgment, of outrage, of righteousness, it becomes transparent. You see that everyone is fighting to protect their own sleep. So, what does the awakened one do? He withdraws. Not because he hates humanity, but because he cannot betray what he has seen. Every conversation demands pretending again. Every social ritual demands that he becomes smaller, shallower, so that others can remain comfortable. And one day the soul says, enough. Stop performing. Stop translating truth into lies just to be accepted. Step back, be where you can breathe. Now Many will call this escapism. They will say you are running away from responsibility. But I say to you, this is not escapism. This is intelligence. This is clarity. To stay in the marketplace of unconsciousness once you have tasted awareness is to poison yourself again. You cannot grow in the dark forever. The plant that has seen the sun cannot return to the cellar. Being among those who are asleep is exhausting for the awake. You must constantly guard your clarity from the fog that surrounds you. You must filter every word, every vibration, every projection. You must hold your center as the winds of unconsciousness try to drag you back, and this constant inner vigilance drains your life energy. So the awakened one makes a choice. He chooses consciousness over belonging, truth over comfort, clarity over acceptance. And with that choice, he begins to disappear. First, he leaves the places that feed sleep. The endless social distractions, the digital masquerades, the addiction to opinions. He drops out quietly. He no longer scrolls through other people's dreams. He reclaims his hours, his attention, his life. Then he leaves the gatherings that no longer nourish him. The circles of performance, of polite deception. He watches others displaying happiness, displaying success, displaying meaning, and he cannot participate. His authenticity has no interest in display. Then, slowly, some relationships fade, not because he stops caring, but because they were built upon the person he no longer is. The old version of him spoke the language of illusion. The new one speaks the language of silence, and these two languages cannot meet. Sometimes he even leaves his work. For the awakened, the world's definition of success feels like death. They cannot pretend to care about hollow goals. They cannot participate in systems that feed unconsciousness. To stay would be to betray the very awareness that has bloomed within them. So they go quietly, courageously into the unknown. But what happens then is not loneliness, it is liberation. You see, loneliness belongs to the crowd. Loneliness is what you feel when you are surrounded by people who cannot see you. Aloneness is what you discover when you finally meet yourself. The awakened one realizes that he was never truly with others, even when he was surrounded by them. Real connection can exist only between two beings who are conscious. And in a world of sleepers, consciousness often finds no companion except itself. So he turns inward. In the silence of solitude, he meets his own depth. He listens to his own voice. He feels his own heart, uncluttered by the noise of others' expectations. For the first time, he begins to live as himself, not as an image, not as a role. This is the cocoon stage, the sacred retreat before the new birth. The caterpillar must dissolve before becoming the butterfly. The seed must vanish into the dark soil before the tree can arise. The awakened must disappear from the world before they can return as light, and this disappearance is not running away. It is transformation. It is alchemy. In solitude, all the unhealed parts of you surface. The shadow you projected on others now stands before you. There is no one left to blame, no one to distract you. You must face your own darkness and embrace it. This is the true work of awakening. not chanting beautiful words, not collecting philosophies, but sitting in the fire of your own truth until every lie is burned away. And it is not easy. It requires tremendous courage, tremendous patience. I have said many times, awareness and mechanicalness cannot exist together. There is no coexistence possible between those two factors. In the marketplace, you are not expected to be aware, you are expected to be efficient. Efficiency is a quality of machines. Machines are more efficient than human beings. Because efficiency is required, you become more mechanical, and as you become more mechanical, your awareness disappears, and your awareness is your real being. By efficiency and mechanicalness, you may succeed in earning more money, more power, more prestige, more respectability, but you will lose yourself, and you are losing yourself very cheaply. What you are gaining in return is worthless. Do you know how many people have lived before you on this earth? Millions of them were successful people. Millions of them were famous in their time. And now people don't even remember their names. They have disappeared like dreams without leaving any trace behind. We are also going to disappear in the same way. The only few people who have died and yet continue to live on in people's love, in people's trust, are not the very successful, not the emperors, not the world conquerors, not the richest. These few people who, in spite of their deaths, still beat in the hearts of man belong to a totally different category. They were the people of awareness, people with soul. Their impact has been so deep that it will remain unto the last man. So, when this inner work is complete, something astonishing happens. You emerge whole. You no longer need validation to know who you are. You no longer depend on agreement to feel clear. You are no longer defined by the reflections of others. You have become your own mirror. Then, if you choose to return to the world, you return differently. You live among people but are no longer of their unconsciousness. You become a bridge standing between two worlds, between sleep and wakefulness. You help but without preaching. You share but without forcing. You become a silent reminder that another way is possible. Some will call this selfish. They will say, shouldn't we stay and change the system? But I ask you, can you give what you do not have? A half awake man cannot awaken another. Only one who has died to his illusions can speak with true compassion. So the first duty is to yourself. Awaken fully, integrate your shadow, become whole. Only then will your very presence begin to awaken others, wordlessly, naturally. Understand this clearly. Most people are not ready. They want dreams, not truth. They want comfort, not freedom. And that too is perfectly fine. Existence moves in its own rhythm. Do not try to convert anyone. Just be awake. Just live consciously. Those who are ready will find you, just as rivers find the ocean. You ask me what I want. I should ask you rather than you asking me, because it depends where you are. If you are identified with the body, then your wants will be different. Food and sex will be your only desires. These are animal desires, the lowest. I am not condemning them by calling them lowest. I am not evaluating them, remember. I am just stating a fact, the lowest rung of the ladder. But if you are identified with the mind, your desires will be different. Music, dance, poetry. Then there are thousands of things. The body is very limited. It has a simple polarity, food and sex. It moves like a pendulum between these two. But if you are identified with the mind, then mind has many dimensions. If you are stuck at the heart, then your desires will be still of a higher nature, higher than the mind's. You will become more aesthetic, more sensitive, more alert, more loving. The mind is aggressive, the heart is receptive. The mind is male, the heart is female. The mind is logic, the heart is love. But there is also the fourth in you. In the East, we call it Turiya. Turiya simply means the fourth, the transcendental. If you are aware of your transcendentalness, then all desires disappear. Then one simply is with no desire at all, with nothing to be asked, to be fulfilled. There is no future and no past. Then one lives just in the moment, utterly contented, fulfilled. In the fourth, your 1000 petal lotus opens up. You become divine. This is why the awakened are disappearing. They are withdrawing to protect the flame of awareness from the winds of unconsciousness. They are finding each other in quiet corners, in small circles, in silence. They are creating little oases of being amidst the deserts of doing. This is not abandonment, it is love in its highest form. Because the world does not need more people pretending to be awake, it needs a few who are truly awake, luminous, centered, alive. These few will become the seeds of a new consciousness. So if you feel called to disappear, do not resist it. Do not feel guilty. Do not try to fit back into what has become too small for you. Trust the pull of your soul. Withdraw gracefully. Rest in your solitude. Let silence work upon you. You are not your mind. You are not your body. There is a witness somewhere inside you who can go on looking at the mind, at the emotions, at the physiological reactions. That witness is you, and that witness is capable of enjoying everything. Once you get centered there, my whole method of meditation is to get centered at your witness and then let life and its games go on. Enjoy, laugh, cry, but whatever you do it totally, with no shame, with no guilt. Risk everything for awareness, but never risk awareness for anything. There is no other value which is higher than awareness. Awareness is the seed of godliness in you. When it comes to its full growth, you have come to the fulfillment of your destiny. As your awareness goes deeper, your actions may not be efficient, but they will have a new quality, the quality of grace, which is far more valuable. No machine can have the quality of grace. Your actions, your words will have a beauty of their own. The way a man of awareness lives, each moment is filled with tremendous grace and beauty. And know that this disappearance is only a passage. You will return not as you were, but as something vast, clear, unshakable. You will return carrying light. You will return not as a seeker, but as a presence. The world may not recognize you. It may even call you gone, but existence will know. It will feel your silence, your stillness, your fragrance spreading invisibly through the collective heart. So vanish if you must. Withdraw without guilt. Be alone without loneliness. Let your solitude become your temple. Let your silence become your teacher. For in disappearing, you are not abandoning the world. You are preparing the dawn. One does not become ordinary. You are ordinary. You are born ordinary, just like everything else in existence. Animals, birds, trees. No bird needs to become ordinary. No tree asks how to be ordinary, but man asks it. And this very process of becoming makes you insane. Drop becoming anybody else. Drop the very idea that you have to be according to some discipline, some scripture, some theology. Forget completely that you have to be like Jesus or Buddha or Mahavira, and suddenly you will find that you are who you are. Live it joyously without any guilt. Existence wanted you to be what you are. This is the beauty and the glory of existence. This is a blessing that nobody like you has ever existed and will ever exist again. You are simply unique. Don't waste this uniqueness in running after some goal, some shadow. You are where you are trying to reach. There is nowhere to go. You have not to become anybody. This very moment you are what existence wanted you to be. Don't miss it. The night of unconsciousness is long, but the first stars of awareness have already begun to appear, and you are one of them.